All the meetings order, don't rise to the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do the roll call, please.
Adams?
Here.
Secord? Absent. Townsend?
Here.
Parker here. Williams?
Here.
Baker?
Here.
Kuznicki?
Here.
So, next we have the adoption of the agenda.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made, supported, to approve the agenda. Any additions, corrections, anything like that? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes. Next we have the approval of the minutes of the October 1, 2024 regular minutes. For the meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the October 1st, 2024 regular meeting minutes as presented.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we have a public hearing for the general fund budget. Open it up now. Anyone would like to speak for it? Please come up to the microphone. Again, anyone would like to speak for it? Hearing none, anyone who would like to speak against? And again. Public hearing closed. Next, we have public comment. If you'd like to make a public comment, please come up to the microphone. Hi, Rod. Right. Leave it where it's at, right?
I'm going to hold it to order conservatively here. God bless America, and the election's over, and change is here. Now, for the meeting, I put some information in front of the board members' seat. And what that is on your agenda today, you're going to award the brush collection. And 56 hours ago, I became aware that there were accepted bids for the brush collection, and I brought it to our intern manager, our township clerk, and our assistant manager that I wasn't aware that there was a bid for the brush collection. So Ron gave me a call from the DPW, and Ron informed me there was 4 ways that they advertised it. They put it on the entrance where you walk in, they put it on our website, and they did constant contact. I looked into the constant contact, I got with our assistant manager, I didn't receive it. The other one was they put it in the Bridgeport Herald, which was for 1 week, and it was in the lower right-hand corner. Now in the past, we would put the brush collection bid announcement in the fire department, and it would be on the lighting board up there for a month for everybody to see. In the past, they would contact me here in Bridgeport. For the last 12 years, I put a bid in. For the first 6 years, I got it. 3 years after that, I was underbidding. 3 years ago, I got the bid, but I terminated it because I found out the township had entered a land contract, and I didn't want to work underneath the administration that I challenged that they shouldn't be hiding the land contract. So what I'm asking here today, when we get down to brush collection, the pickup isn't until April of next year. So we're damn near 6 months out. The last brush collection was picked up last week. So I'm raising my hand to be considered on one of the bids. I don't know who bid it, how many people bid it, or what they bid it. Now the deadline to submit the bids was on the 10th of this month. I understand the deadline was there so that it could be presented to the board so the board could decide. So what I'm asking, if you move forward to select who's going to get the bids, that you consider my bid that nobody's seen and I'm not aware of the other ones, or we do what we did with the intern manager, whatever the best interest of the township, to wait another month, so I have an opportunity or to be able to review it, because I don't see no rush into going to it. I was afforded to put a bid in for the last 12 years. Obviously, I live in the township. I'd be interested in putting in the bid. I don't see no violation of taking anything away from anybody if I'm considered to place that bid. Thank you much.
Roger,
Go ahead, Robert.
you have put in a bid before, okay? Now, the last time you put in a bid, you were awarded the contract. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. 2 weeks before the brush pickup was supposed to start, you came to a board meeting and rather ceremoniously took the contract and ripped it up in front of us. Yes, you did, Roger. Okay. I think some people might have been here to interview that. But anyway, you received it on constant contact because Tracy checked. We have a record of that, and she's already told you that, you're aware. The bid process was done. We will be bidding on the first collection. Thank you. Have a seat.
Okay, well, wait, but in all fairness, I got a right to respond because you called me out. Now, the thing about it is this. I'm not here to debate what was right, wrong, or different. I'm here to raise my hand so that the board members can consider a bid, and if it's lower, okay, this is in the best interest of the township. For the 6 years I did an excellent job, and there's no complaints. If we want to go into whatever Roger did, right, wrong, or indifferent, it had nothing to do with the project collection itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Any other people? Anyone else want to make public comment? Again. How you doing, Jill?
Hello, Jill Mark. I just want to publicly acknowledge Lee Carpenter for teaming up and making sure that we had the handicap parking at the high school precinct. And it was windy, but I found myself out there directing traffic yesterday afternoon, just how it happened. And some people were going in circles over and over again because there was not an opening for it. I accommodated one person, you know how there was a 2 in the barrel. We had to move the barrel and we moved it right back. But if we could have, while this is still fresh, at least 2 more on each side of those carve-outs, that would give 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side, because the one that was closest to when you drive in, those cars never moved the entire time that I was there. So that froze those out. But there was some movement on the other side because that's where I was nearby. But as people circled over and over again. Now I do have to say that one gentleman that we assisted that was in a scooter, it worked well with those carve-outs, and it worked very well with the far right going into door number 1. So I think, and the other thing that the input was for, and I did relay to contact the township office for assistance, and people were very receptive of that if they were not able to leave their vehicle. So they know that the next time. But I do have to say that going in door 1 or door 2, that didn't matter. But feedback I was getting was people very much, and especially those that were more restricted, prefer to vote in the gym. It was a much lesser walk than down the hallway and then the rest of it. So if there's any way that it can be accommodated with +2 handicaps on each side and the gym, that's going to really ease a lot of people who have some challenges. And these people do know that there are options to call for assistance. But again, it's the experience at the precinct that they really look forward to. So we made a thank you very much for including me to team up. Great banner, that worked out well. Are you pleased with that? Yeah. So that's my feedback based on what the people were sharing with me. Thank you.
I want to thank you for that. And we talked about going to the library. Now, I'll give the credit to Superintendent Welton for changing it because of the weather. We were gonna go in door number 2 of the library.
Yeah.
He said, let's go in the main door. And that morning, we had 50 people lined up inside the building, dry and out of the wind and the rain or whatever, at 6:30 in the morning. So I'll give him the credit for that. We also have decided that we are not gonna close that front parking lot. We're gonna override what Homeland Security is saying. We're gonna keep that open because it's less disruptive to all of our handicapped or not. The gym is too disruptive to the school. Even yesterday, they had basketball practice in there. So when we take that gym away from them, that's disruptive to all the activities that they have.
Yeah, but, I mean, there were a lot of schools that were closed that day and stuff.
But they still had practice yesterday.
I know, but I
So
think that can be worked out.
And the issue with the gym, and it took 3 hours, when we first did that, putting down the tarp to protect the floor, it took 7 people 3 hours to set that up. And the tarp on the floor was a trip hazard to everybody. So it's a lot safer in the library. And we will do that the next time. They'll go in door number 1, through that long hallway that's all carpeted, and go into the library from the commons area.
Okay,
So we're
well,
looking at that, so
Yeah.
the whole issue with the handicap, that will be resolved by leaving that front parking lot open.
yeah, well, I know at least 3 people I talked with yesterday that would not be able to repeat the walk down the hallway. So, I don't know.
Well, again, if they needed help, I pushed the wheelchair myself yesterday through the cutout in there, so.
Are there wheelchairs on site?
Yes, in the library there's one,
Okay.
tucked in the corner, so we would just bring that out and some him.
Perhaps?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was a lot easier deal, of course, when it was at the Catholic Church.
I know.
Nothing easier now, bigger parking lot and all that kind of stuff. But they decided they didn't want us there anymore, so let's have it in the school. So.
Well, and I kind of felt like a parking lot hostess yesterday, and it worked out well, so that sounds good.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to make public comments? One more. You don't have anything to say? Yeah, you turn around looking the other way. Nothing? Yeah, that's usually pretty much on the floor. Next, we have a resolution R24-20, General Fund Budget and Appropriation Act for Fiscal Year 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution R24-20, general fund budget and appropriation act for fiscal year 2025 as presented.
Support.
Motion made and supported. This is just an act that we have to approve. It's quite lengthy. I'm not going to read it all. If anyone wants to see it afterwards, welcome to it. Just one of those things, all the whereases and all that kind of stuff. Could we have a roll call, please?
I'd like to make a comment on that first. All right?
Sure.
As we sit here as trustees and officers, whatever, we have a responsibility to do the best thing with our tax dollars. We have that fiscal responsibility. I point out, because I've been active in recreation most of my work life. I question the money we spend on recreation. We need parks for recreation. Right now, we're paying $23,400 for a person to man that. What are we getting out of that? One basketball team in the middle school and one third-party event that uses the Liberty Park that's out of the county. baseball field. Is that responsible? The school is interested in taking on the program. So why isn't that something that we look into and doing? Yeah, I might have an attitude about it, but I sit here as a responsibility. I think something needs to change. And not just not just with recreation, but all around. I'll say it, maybe it's wrong. This man who is our Parks and Rec director here just got the seat on the Tippecanoe Township board. Does he care about Bridgeport? He doesn't live here. He drives home every day to Freeland. Is that who we want directing investors into Bridgeport? Because what I've seen in the last 11 years, he hasn't done a very good job doing that. Yeah, I'm tired, and I'm going to say what I want. That's it.
Well, I
The
agree.
new board can say can do what they want.
I agree with you, Lee. So is the school looking at taking on the recreation? Did you say?
That's what I would suggest. Do the board members feel that it's a responsibility of us to spend the tax dollars wisely? Maybe we should ask the people out there that don't know anything about it. $23,000, $400 to have one basketball team of the middle school and one outside unit that comes in and uses the baseball field one time.
And I got a complaint that team didn't even play any games. The only thing they got was a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Well,
Use the microphone, please.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
who are you talking to? Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Can't talk.
Put your mouth closer to the microphone.
Closer.
I said I agreed with Lee. I got a complaint from one of the parents that the only thing they got was a t-shirt. They never played a game.
One more point. One more point. I don't know if the residents know about the Great Lakes Discovery Center. It's been worked on for years. Well, it hasn't been worked on for years because it got dropped by the federal government and a lot of issues there. There's an option or an opportunity for that to come back with investors. And I haven't heard from that person's mouth that he's too busy to work with these developers. I know I've been in meetings where he's made derogatory remarks about the work that was done by the township. 3 years of money spent and 3 years of documents, and he doesn't care. If it was in Freeland, he would care.
Okay. Okay, let's move on. You do a roll call, please. It's something that as soon as the new board or whatever will be taken over in December, and then from that have discussion about it and move forward however they feel they want to. Okay, could we have a roll call, please?
Blinker,
Yes.
Kuznicki,
Yes.
Townsend,
Yes.
Carpenter, yes. I'm saying yes to the budget. Secord,
No.
Williams,
Yes, I have a question when we get down to the budget.
Adams,
Yes.
The end of new business, the 2025 fiscal year budgets. We have a motion.
Motion to discuss.
Support.
Okay, open for discussion.
Calvin, ask your question if you would.
Oh, yeah, I have a couple questions. The first one is, The Township Board appropriation, I see that that was cut by $3,000 and I'm wondering why that was cut. And the other one that deals with park and recreation, I see that was cut by $2,339. And I don't have a rationale for either one of those reductions, so I'm inquiring relative to why those deductions were made.
Yes, so starting with the Township Board, so basically there's a number of adjustments that are done at the end of the year for prepaids and so forth. So the membership dues and subscription, when you look at the detailed report, is overstated. So it's after the adjustments, it should be more about $5,000. So that's, then when you look at the total, you get to the 9591. That matches the one-page summary that I gave you there.
So what are you saying?
Well, it's going to be more in line with the 9591 after we do year-end adjustments. So in the 24 budget, that I must not have accounted for that. But basically we have the membership to MTA that spreads 2 fiscal years. So we pay for it, but we're only going to recognize half of it in the 1 year and then the other half in the prior year. So it's just an accounting adjustment that needs to be done, but it should be more in line like the 9591 that I said.
So why was it reduced from the 2024 to 9591?
Yeah, so when I did the budget last year, I didn't take into account that adjustment. So I had the full amount of the expense plus half of the prior year in there. So really accounted for 18 months. Whereas this year, when I did the budget, I adjusted it appropriately for 12 months of expense.
Do you have a printout of the adjustments?
Yeah, I can get you that
Okay,
information.
could you get that to me?
Yeah, I'll email that to
All right,
you.
thank you. The other one is the reduction for the park and rec department. 2339.
Okay, we do have our Parks and Rec director here as well, but it looks like when I go to the detailed report, it looks like we reduced the grounds repair and maintenance from $25,000 to $20,025. So that was the majority of that change there.
Repeat that again.
So if you go to the detailed report, page 9, you'll see the detail for the Parks and Rec department. So in 24, we budgeted $25,000, and in 25, we're budgeting $20,000. And you can see for 2023, what was actually spent was just over $11,000 there. I can pull up the 24 if you want to know that information as well.
Did you say something about the maintenance being reduced?
Yeah, grounds repair and maintenance.
So that's not going to be a problem for the 25 fiscal year?
Well, I think the 20,000 came directly from the Parks and Rec director there. Bill wants to say anything about that.
I'd like to hear what that answer is.
I'm not clear. Yeah, I'm so confused.
Hi, I'll stand up
Okay?
and say, Calvin, I reduced the budget. When I proposed the budget, I had reduced the grounds repair maintenance in hopes of getting back a position that was promised to me when I took over as a DDA coordinator as well. I wear 2 hats for the township. I'm Parks and Rec Director, that's what I was hired to do 11 years ago. 6 years ago, they came and basically begged me to take the DDA coordinator spot to relieve the general fund budget. My salary, most of my salary comes from the DDA now. I asked them at that time, can I have a recreation program? They provided me a recreation programmer for 1.5 years until COVID hit. She's sitting right here. We did phenomenal things. Phenomenal things. And for the last 4 years, I've been asking for that position back. And I reduced the grounds repair maintenance budget to incorporate that into the budget. That totally got cut out and was not even presented to me. So that's why the reduction of $5,000 from the general, or the grounds repair maintenance was made, so that in hopes that if I reduced that, then maybe they would let me have this. And they took that out completely.
Okay, thank you. I'm still pretty sad about the whole idea. You know, if we're interested in maintaining a recreation program in the township, then I think that program should be funded. That's just my personal feeling. You know, I don't see, you know, what things should be reduced, you know, based on some arbitrary, you know, conclusion. As far as the position, you know, personally, I think the position should have been funded. And it should stay in there, you know, the part-time position. If we are interested in maintaining a very good recreation program for the township, and I think there's a need for that.
Can I just add something?
Sure.
Last year, I came to the board last year when I asked for the position and it got cut. And I asked the board, I said, do you want a Parks and Recreation department or do you want a Parks department? Because if you're not going to fund that part-time position to do the recreation programming that is needed for the township, then we're going to just be a Parks department. Because with the DDA position and the stuff that that incorporates, there's just not enough time in the day for me to do both. Because I wanted to start basketball tonight. Ron requested my attendance to be here at this meeting. I can't be over at the gym doing basketball if I'm requested to be here at this meeting. And it's more than one basketball team, Lee. More than one. In the last 6 weeks, I did Great Lakes Bay Miracle League for 6 straight Saturdays. Not one township board member came, but I had 40 special needs kids out there playing baseball every Saturday. So I take offense.
All right, let's get off on a tangent here, okay? We can have this discussion later.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
So I know Lee brought this up, and I think it's a great idea that we need to have budget workshops to figure out what direction the board wants to go in. So I would love to see that happen, and we can figure out what is a priority to the board and to the residents and move in that direction.
Okay. Is that? Now we're going to have a motion.
I have one more question. I'm sorry. If there's a 1033 military surplus fund, what is that exactly?
Would you mind answering that, sir? Or Chief?
As a law enforcement fund that is the military, like the Humvee out there and the other items that we get from the military, it's a fund that can only be used for law enforcement, it can't be used for anything else. And it can only be used for certain things within law enforcement. It can't be used for like salaries or anything like that.
What is the budget for that?
There is really no budget.
Oh, okay.
And so the money that's in the account came from things that were acquired from the military that allowed us, and after a certain amount of period of time, we were allowed to sell it. use those funds. So that's what's in there, and I can use that for training budgets, buying, range items, buying miscellaneous items for the police department. It's gotta be documented.
So there is no money in the fund, it says fund, so there's no dollars there?
Well, there is money in it,
Oh, okay, I thought
okay,
you
but
said.
there's not any, I shouldn't say there's no budgeted money.
Okay.
It's only when you sell something, there's nothing left to sell. So there's a fund balance of around $11,000.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, Calvin, if you look on page 12 of your detail, that's where you can find that information.
But some of that military stuff we don't even pay for, do we?
We didn't pay for any of it. What we paid for is the upkeep.
Right. So, yeah, okay, so there's no funds available to buy something, because we don't buy anything from that military fund. No, we just receive it, so.
What happened with that is when it was applied for, we got cabinets, we got all kinds of things from the military. Paper shredders, it's all kinds of, like treadmills and all that kind of stuff. And it was given to us by the government, it paid up at the time to apply for it, and we got it. And there was a period of time that we had to keep it. I'm going to say it was a year, but I may be wrong, and that's what don't quote me. We also got the Hummers. We had two of them. After a period of time, we could do with what we wanted to do with any of that equipment that we were given. So a lot of it became, we couldn't use it or whatever, and it was sold. That's how those funds got into that budget for that kind of stuff. With the Hummers, we had to maintain them, and it comes to a point where we no longer utilize them, or don't longer want them. You give them back to the government. And before you do that, you drain any and all fluids out of it, and it's just a process to satisfy the government in returning it. But the Hummers we don't get to keep, we don't get to sell, we have to give them back to the government. So, with that, we're
Before you call the question, I have some questions for Ron. And Ron, I did put these questions in email form for you, or in writing, and you got back to me literally immediately, so I appreciate that. But I asked you questions about how the impact of purchasing this building would affect our budget going forward, how we're funding the fire department now, how that's going to affect the budget. Can you kind of tell us what those responses were? And then my second question is, how much did we receive totally in ARPA funds? How much have we spent so far? What have we spent it on? What is remaining? And do we have any concerns about, once we've spent the remaining ARPA funds, any deficit troubles that we may be incurring maybe for the next couple of years?
Yes, thank you, Brenda. So, starting with the building, so now that we own the building, now, we're going to have to have some conversations next year regarding infrastructure in this township with this building, and Ron Bench has mentioned the DPW building, so we need to take a look at our infrastructure and what improvements do we need to make. So, talking to Ron, it sounds like we're going to need to do work on this building soon. We've got the police where they're working, that needs some serious upgrades. So we're going to have to figure out what do we want to do, and then secondly, where is the funds going to come from? So fortunately, we do have a fund balance that we can tap into that we used to purchase the building, but we can also use it to make some improvements. And then, working with our incoming treasurer, it sounds like he's got experience working with federal grant writing there, so hopefully we can
once that period opens up, we can hopefully try to tap into some of those funds. So we'll look at those avenues there. I'm sorry. So that's a little bit of the ARPA conversation. Yes, so when we originally got that, I think that was about summer 2021. So we got just over $1 million. So we used a little bit of it for hazard pay for our first responders and people that had to be here due to, during the pandemic there. Most of the money, we were looking at using those dollars to reduce the cost to the taxpayers when we tried to go for the bond village there, the building, but that unfortunately failed. So we couldn't obviously do it for that. There's only, I think, 4 allowable uses for the money, so it's very limited in what you can use the money for. So that was, infrastructure is one as far as water, wastewater, and broadband. Hazard pay for COVID, and then big one that I think a lot of townships are using is for the revenue reduction loss. So, and that's how we've used it the last 3 years. And if you look at your 25 budget there, you'll see federal dollars that I've got $240,000 that we're budgeting to use for next year. Because we have to use this money in 2026. And I don't want to send any of this money back. So I'm trying to maximize the use of that money. So that buys us some time in 24, 25, 26. So when it comes time to the 27 budget, it could be really ugly. So again, for the budget workshops, we need to figure out the priorities for the township and how we're going to make things work, because, like I said, it doesn't look pretty going forward there. But right now, it's, like I said, we need to use this money, so and I think it's the best way to show this money being used to where we can use it for other purposes. So right now, we've got about $420,000 left for the funds. Thank you, Ron.
Trustee? Yes. Adams?
Yes.
Seacard?
Yes.
Carpenter, yes. Townsend?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Okay, next we have resolution R24-21, Fort Road Trail Loop Development.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution R24-21, Fort Road Trail Loop Development as presented.
Motion been made and supported. This is a trail loop, this trail loop is going to go around Fort Road. Got a grant for it. I think Bill was going to explain that.
Yes, Augie, that's the reason why I'm here, is to explain that.
Okay, good, thank you.
You know, I was going to get thrown on the bus.
All right, come on, Bill.
Anyway, so this, I need a resolution from the board for the project agreement from the DNR Trust Fund. So this is a $525,000 project. We're getting $300,000 from the trust fund. When we submitted our application to the trust fund, we scored second highest in the state of Michigan on that grant, which is huge. That leaves us with a balance of $215,400 that we have to find the money for. So far, we're up to $118,500 that I've gotten. Amounts of $20,000 from Saginaw Bay Watershed Initiative Network, $2,500 just came in last week from the Jury Foundation, $1,000 from the Franklin Insurance Foundation. We're expecting a check for $10,000 from the Harvard Daniel Wicks Foundation, and then the DEA is contributing their non-motorized trail committed funds that they have saved up in the amount of $85,000. So $118,500 leaves us with $96,600 yet to raise. Still working on foundations, still doing the best that I can do in raising that kind of money to make this project go. Hopefully construction will start. If everything goes well, Spicer's been out surveying and so forth. Everything goes well, construction starting hopefully summer of 2025.
You explain the loop to the public.
So the Fort Road Trail Loop has been a project that has been on my agenda since, well, I've been here for 11 years. And for 11 years, we wanted to take the loop around from the gravel parking lot on Fort Road, where the trail stops. We're going to bring it up Fort Road. We're going to go through Davis Park, either up on the dike or through Davis Park, go back up on the dike and complete the loop over to the bridge. So you can actually park at the bridge and take a whole loop around. It's about 2.5 miles. It'll be a great walk, great scenery, right along the way.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you.
Just one of them would pay Spicer to,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Spicer
Spicer
grant.
help write the DNR Trust Fund grant.
Thank you. Again, I have the resolution here, but I'm going to give you the three bulletin. Roll call, please.
Secord,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Kuznicki,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Townsend,
Yes.
Carpenter, yes.
Next, I have Resolution R 24-22, Police Protection Public Safety Resolution. This is for the assessment for our police department. It's just something we have to do every year to approve, year after year, so no changes, no increases, no nothing other than just a continuance, and it has to be another policy that we have to go through, so. Do we have a
Motion to approve resolution R 24-22, police protection, public safety resolution as presented. Support.
motion been made, support, there's any discussion along? Pretty well covered. We have a roll call, please.
Townsend,
Yes.
Kuznicki,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes, just a question. There's no Exhibit A attached to the resolution. I would like to take a look at that, Exhibit A. Okay, thank you.
I've got it here. I don't have it. He'll get a few, whatever.
right, continue.
You continue.
Carpenter, yes. Baker,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Secord,
Yes.
Next we have the resolution R 24-23, the healthcare employee.
Did you finish the roll call? You didn't finish the roll call?
I finished it.
No, they didn't call my name.
Yeah, we
Yes,
finished.
I did. You asked the question.
Oh. Gotcha, okay.
I'll try again. Resolution 24-23, healthcare employee. This is to do with, Tracy, you can explain this. Tracy works with it all the time. If you would, please.
There's a Public Act 152 that every year we usually adopt a target option, but our employees pay 20% of the health care and the township covers 80%. We need to approve this every year. Our insurance rates have gone up slightly. We do have a higher deductible plan, so the plan that we have isn't, we don't utilize the whole deductible of it. Any questions?
That was that. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution R 24-23, healthcare employee as presented.
Support.
Motion made, supported, and roll call, please.
Carpenter, yes. Secord?
Yes.
Kuznicki?
Yes.
Townsend?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have resolution R 24-24, of Michigan Waste Authority, appointment trustee and alternate. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution R 24-24, Mid-Michigan Waste Authority, appointment trustee and alternate as presented.
Support.
Motion made and supported. We have a roll call, please.
Adams?
Yes.
Kuznicki?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Townsend?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Secord?
Yes.
Carpenter, yes.
Next, we have the Streetlight Assessment.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 Streetlight Assessment as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Nothing's raised, nothing's changed, it's just another one of those we have to do every year. Do a roll call, please.
Secord?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Kuznicki?
Yes.
Townsend?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Carpenter, yes.
Next, we have Firearm Disposal.
I'll make a motion to approve the October firearm disposal list as presented.
Motion been made and supported. I'll just read this quickly. The attached list of firearms has been posted for over 30 days at the Bridgeport Township website and being disposed of. The board needs to verify that we have followed the 30-day public notice of intent to dispose of firearms pursuant to MCL 28.434. 30-day public notice is placed on our township website for Tracy Bennett. I have attached a list of firearms that have been placed on our website for over 30 days and have met requirements for disposal. Sincerely, Officer Ryan Schlicker. We have quite a list of weapons that will be disposed of. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, hearing none.
Judy, you were walking in when I was talking. Would you recognize me so fairness is Bridgeport representative, you would hear what you missed?
Roger, have a seat.
When I was walking.
Roger, have a seat.
Related to the brush.
Have a seat.
Would you recognize me, Jim?
Roger?
You were walking in when I was talking.
Chief, if he opens up his mouth again, escort him out of here. Right here, I'm not putting up with your crap.
Well, yeah, I don't know what I meant. I mean,
He doesn't direct anything to you anyway, Jim.
okay, sir.
Next, we have the brush contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the brush contract with top priority tree service for the brush service collection from 2025 through 2027 for $44,100.
Support. We have a roll call, please.
Adams,
Yes.
Kuznicki,
Yes.
Laker,
Yes.
Townsend,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Secor,
No.
Carpenter, yes.
Next, we have the third-party administrator. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to appoint Saginaw Shiawassee Habitat for Humanity as the third-party administrator for the Mr. Chill Grant Program.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Roger, do you want to comment on that? I know you worked awfully hard on that.
Yeah, I'll just make a quick comment. So actually, I see Carmen's here, so maybe I'll just turn it over to her and have her, if you want to say anything about that.
You want me to speak from here or up there?
You can come around up there, right? We got time.
I'm good.
Okay.
Good evening. I'm from, excuse me, my name is Carmen Mora. I'm Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity. We are pleased to accept your proposal or the third party nomination or whatever it is that we call it, to administer the contract for you for repairs to houses here in Bridgeport Township. It's actually pretty brilliant to be able to apply, and then we are assured that the funding and the repairs could be going to houses here in Bridgeport Township. So Habitat for Humanity repairs homes in both Saginaw County and in Shiawassee County. But what happens is that we are assigned money for both counties, and it's really, we repair homes wherever families apply. So this is really wonderful because then it's only families applying from Bridgeport Township, and the money that is just spent here. So it's a really brilliant tactic, and that I will share with other townships so that other townships concentrate on doing the same thing that you have all done. So I really commend you for doing that. I think it's a really great opportunity for you, and I'd like to invite you, if you have any questions, basically we would work the details out as to what you would like, how you see the priority of the funding to be spent. We have about 12 years of working on home repairs in both counties, which is not a whole lot of experience, but we have over 35 years of building homes and rehabbing homes. The repairs that we complete are things like roof, siding, well, siding only in extreme cases because that's really not a big bang for your buck. It's the types of critical repairs that really are important for families that are critical. So things like furnaces, insulation, water heaters, things that are expensive that really families that have limited incomes cannot repair without assistance. Things like accessibility modifications that, your physical needs have changed, and if you do not make changes, for example, to your bathrooms, and of, or you don't have ramps added to your home, you probably have to leave your home because you no longer are able to use it, right? And all of us are aging. All of our housing stock all over the county is aging. Most of our homes in the city of Saginaw and the near outskirts, the houses, I think it's 86% of the homes are older than 1950, whereas in the outer skirts of the county, it's only 16% of the homes are older than 1950. So that's pretty mind-blowing. So all of, anything that we can do to bring money to your township, to help repair your housing stock, to help stabilize your housing stock, that is an important thing for all of us to do. We cannot build houses fast enough to replace the older housing stock. So we need to stabilize the housing stock, and we know some of the older houses are gonna have to come down, right? But we need to stabilize the houses that we can, okay? And increase their longevity before we can, continue to infill the homes that we need to. So we are pleased to be able to partner with you to do that, and we hope that it is a long-term partnership because we love what we do, and we love to serve families. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
no, you're welcome. If you have any questions, we gladly answer them. Question? Yes.
The funding, is that available to homeowners only or to renters as well?
So this funding was applied for owners. So renters, well, this funding is not for renters because we do not work with the landlords for this funding. So MSHDA does have other funding for landlords, but this is not that. So you need to own your home. We are going to work out the details, but generally you own your home for at least a period of 12 months. You also have to own the home and the land. We'll work out the details. I don't want to say too much with this.
What is your budget on each house?
We haven't worked out the details. So I can't say too much. Different programs are different, yes.
So when Ron had addressed this previously, he said that there was a brochure available outside, but when I looked for it, I was told by a staff member that it's too premature to offer something in writing outside.
Coming soon to a.
Okay, so right now there's no literature?
Correct. So you all passed it this evening, then we're writing the program guidelines. So I've written program guidelines ad nauseum, right? And so as soon as we agree, then it won't take us very long because I've written them like a million times over, right? So, and have a lot of boilerplate and we can, cut and paste a lot of things. So it's not gonna take us long to get it off the ground is what I mean, right? It's gonna take MSHDA probably a little longer to write the contract.
So who is my contact here to touch base to see how we can announce it? You, Ron?
It is always run, but we will put the pieces together and funnel everything through.
Okay. Then when you had discussed it previously, I was told that there was a list already begun of residents that are interested.
Yeah, so
how did that come about?
well, our former manager, Michelle, had reached out to MSHDA and got this program started. And basically kind of got the cart before the horse. And so now I've been working with MSHDA on trying to get all the steps done correctly and to work with the third-party administrator and to make sure we do everything appropriately. And then, so after tonight, we can really get the ball rolling. But until we did this piece, there wasn't a whole lot we could have done. But yes, we do have a list, I think, probably 15, maybe even 20 people now.
And I don't want to discourage you, right? Because let's say you're like, oh, 20 people, that money's going to go really fast. Guess what? We can apply for more. How exciting is that? You know what? There's money at the state level to apply for more money. So don't get discouraged, okay?
So there's 15 to 20 people that are already on the list.
So there's criteria, right?
I'm
What was
not
that?
asking about criteria. I'm wondering how they're already on the list.
That's what he said, someone put the cart before the horse.
So they are still eligible for this benefit?
Yes.
We don't know, so everyone is going, so regardless of whether they're on the list or not, it doesn't mean they qualify. Because once you go through their criteria, some people fall off.
Okay, so
Because
to
they
finish
don't
my
fit.
question, another question. So the 15 or 20 people that are already on the list, are they going to go back through an application process?
Everybody has to apply,
Okay.
right? So I
I'll talk
don't
to you
know.
afterwards so I can finish my question.
Yeah.
It's not first come, first served.
Regardless whether they're on a list, they don't have an application, they haven't provided documentation, right? Everybody has to provide documentation. And I'll tell you, if you provided an incomplete application, that is not complete. If you don't give us a piece of document that we request, I cannot process an application. We are not being a pain in the rear end. If we request a deed that has a seal, that is from the county, and you tell me, this is the one that I got at my signing, I can't take it. It needs to have the seal because it has to be recorded. I will tell you nightmares of people that thought that they owned the house. They never got the deed recorded.
So for all intents and purposes, there is no list.
That is not for me to answer. I am not the manager of this township.
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
For all intents and purposes, there is no list, is what you said. I'm like, I don't run this township, right?
Well, I've been making a list of everyone that's come to me or from the prior manager.
Right. They will be provided an application, and you, if you are interested, will be provided an application.
Excuse me.
Right?
What happened is we found out that there were a lot of things that were not completed by our previous manager, okay? So Ron and I, over a period of time, we probably had about 10 or 12 different calls with MSHDA. You get different answers, and you get different people talking to, and it's just maddening. And we're finally to the point now where we're able to move forward. Now, as far as the list is concerned, like Ron said, the cart was kind of put before the horse. Getting people all excited about it before the process was even moving along where we could start doing
I
something
don't know
like
if
that.
it's assertive on the horse.
No. The list was.
Carmen, I have to say, I feel a lot more comfortable with your company, with your history, whatever, than I have some other cat here, so.
Anyway, so that's where it's at, and it's been very, very frustrating. Like I said, Ron's done an excellent job working with them. I couldn't make any time yet the conversation with them, but we're getting there.
So as everybody here knows, I'm a voice of the people, so thus far, those people on the list, what are they understanding in regards to their name? What is that attached to right now? So if I months ago said, I'm interested.
Listen, we can make this super simple. I don't put a sheet right here. If you are interested.
No, I'm concerned about the people's understandings of who's on the list. What's the status of what they know thus far?
Well, I've tried to keep them up to date, just letting them know that I've been working with MSHDA, trying to get this program up and running. So it's just been, as Augie said, it's kind of been a frustrating progress trying to.
But are they thinking that they're going to get an application? Do they know? Yeah, I'm big on communication.
Yeah. So basically, I've been letting them know of the process, and after tonight's meeting, now that we've got a third-party administrator in place, now I can reach back to them saying, okay, we've got this in place, and once we work out the grant guidelines, which should go pretty quickly because MSHDA's got boilerplate language and Carmen's done this before, so it should go a lot quicker now. So I can reach out to them, let them know, okay, here's who we're going to be working with, here's the applications.
There we go.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is the money to fix these people's houses coming all from Habitat and Humanity? Or is it also coming from the township?
No, all of it comes from the state of Michigan. Everything is grant funded, all right?
So it's not coming from us taxpayers?
No, ma'am.
All right.
No, ma'am. So everything is grant funded.
But not-
So limited repairs, right? So there will be limited repairs. The owners have, you can choose who repairs your home, right? That welcomes different, as long as the contractors are licensed and insured, you can choose your contractor as long as they do quality work. We might have someone we choose not to work with because they have proven not to do quality work. But as long as they are insured and licensed and so on, and they provide the paperwork, yes, we will work with them because we always like to add quality folks to our list. And you can choose, you know, a certain contractor. Then we contract the person, we end up paying them, and then the money comes from MSHDA as reimbursement. So no, your township is not on the hook for any money. If there is additional money above what the grant provides, that there's an overage, right? You are responsible for that overage, but you would know that beforehand, right? And you can choose one of two things. You can choose to pay the overage, or you can choose to reduce the scope of your work so that you do not have to pay anything additional, right? But all of that is agreed upon beforehand. Nothing is ever done where you would then owe money and not be aware of it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we're all set. We have a roll call.
Laker,
Yes.
Zicki,
Yes.
Townsend,
Yes.
Carpenter, yes. Secord,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Next, we have the 123.net Metro Act permit application. They're requesting to be an internet service in their area.
I'll make a motion to approve the Metro Act right-of-way agreement with 123.net as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Do we have a roll call?
Carpenter, yes. Secord,
Yes.
Zicki,
Yes.
Townsend,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Laker,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Next, we have accounts payable.
I'll make a motion to approve checks number 73078 through 73165 in the amount of $641,212.10 as presented.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Pay the bill. Next, we have a report from our police department. Eric, got anything?
I don't have that much to add. We had a good Devil's Night, I should say, and a good Halloween, no issues. I have two officers that are currently on light duty or not light duty with workers' comp, so the other officers are picking up the slack. They're continuing to do a good job. When you leave them tonight, you see those two pantries out there. That was the work of Officer Benicki and Officer Fuster. Officer Fuster was the one that came up with the idea. Officer Benicki built them on his own time, and there is a food pantry and a book pantry out there that will be housed for food for anybody that come up and use. DEA, Bill Wheeler was part of it. He's the one that got the money approved to have them made, so I want to push that up for him too. I also would like to thank Officer Hernandez and his wife for contributing to Trunk or Treat and Historical Society's Trunk or Treat. They did it all in their own time, with their own money, and their own, for their own candy. So, other than that, I don't have anything else to add. Any questions?
Yeah, our fire chief is in training tonight with some other firemen, so he couldn't make it, being this is Wednesday instead of our normal Tuesday. Anything around, anything covered?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Fire department report.
Yeah, I can read that report if you want me to.
Sure.
Okay, so calls for service for October, 133, and that brings the year-to-date total 1,161. So October was a busy month as advertised. We participated in several public events over the course of the month. We also visited schools and businesses to educate people on fire safety. In all, it is estimated that we had contact with over 2,000 people, taking all events into account. Much of this fell on weekends. We'd like to thank all our personnel for their participation and dedication. We would like to recognize Lieutenant Jerry Childs, his wife Heather, and their 3 children for their decorating of our safety trailer used in 3 different Halloween events. During the events, they played the part dressing in costume to add to the effect. Their son Jacob, who participated, just recently returned to the ranks. Cadets Jonathan Coates and Joshua Deitch, I don't know if I said that right, will start their formal Fire Academy training Monday, November 11th. The academy will extend into April of 2025. We wish them luck and smooth sailing in their journey to become certified firefighters. We would like to welcome back to our ranks firefighter Jacob Schluckbier. Jacob had to step away for what was just short of a year. He is now back and dedicated to keeping our community safe. He continues his family's long history of service to both the Bridgeport and Spalding fire departments. He has already completed fire training prior to his hiatus.
Well, while you're at it, might as well do the manager report.
Sure. So I just want to start off by saying commend Bill for his work with the Spicer Group and the Fork Road Trail Loop. So thank him for that. And I want to thank everyone in the township who helped to make the election successful yesterday. So it sounded like there was very minimal issues, so good to hear that. Congratulations to the board members on their elections, and I'm looking forward to working with the board in whatever capacity they may be. Now that we have the elections behind us, we will start looking at our infrastructure needs, as I talked about earlier. So I'm looking forward to working with Pat and seeing if we can get any grant funding out there. So obviously, whatever we can do to make it work and relieve the stress on the taxpayers there. So next month, I'm hoping we can take the water and wastewater budgets to the board, and then we'll also have to do our final budget adjustments for 2024. I want to thank Carmen for being here tonight and talking about the chill grant there, and I really look forward to working with her. And it sounded like she's got quite a bit of experience working with MSHDA, so and I think she's, as I said in my memo, got the staff to be able to address this. So we'll have to do a Tier 1 environmental review, and then we can move forward with program guidelines and getting this process starting and helping out the residents and their needs. So obviously I've taken quite a few calls about roofs and different sorts of issues. So I think this is a great way to not have to rely on township dollars, but we can access the state money that Michelle started the process on, and so I just want to see it succeed. So I think we've got the right people with the Saginaw Shiawassee Habitat to work with, and I think we'll do a good job there. So
think that's it.
Board comment, Bertie?
Well, seems how often you let the beans out. Next Wednesday at the DDA meeting, we have a young man that's going to come into the DDA. Hopefully, they will help with the property. And he's got backing for the Great Lakes Discovery Building. So hopefully we get that here. Roger, the bids were already open and they were sealed bids, so we can't take a bid after they've been open, so we had to vote the way we voted. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that comment, listening. That's all we ask for, is somebody to listen and respond. Be shut down and say that you don't go through this channel, it's just have proper ways of community learning and growing together. So I appreciate you addressing me directly.
You're welcome. Jimmy, Augie, your last meeting, it's been really fun. Hope you stick around.
Sure.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah.
I just want to represent for re-electing to the Township Board for 4 more years. I will continue to serve and work hard for this township. So thank you very much.
Jimmy?
Sorry I was late tonight. I put a round bale in and all the cows got loose.
Sure you got them all?
I did. And thank you for the township allowing me the opportunity to serve as your treasurer for the last 10 years. It's not only been an honor, it's been a learning experience. I've tried to be there for all the working people as well as be there for anybody that ever needed any assistance. I'd be more than happy to help Pat with this new transition, becoming the treasurer. Pat and I have spoke several times. If any help that he would need or anything that I can help him with. I'm really, really proud of Tracy. She's been with me a long time and been really good to me. Every penny for the last 10 years has been accounted for, and I'm proud of that. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of responsibility, and I'm just really grateful that you guys all gave me the opportunity.
Brandon?
Residents, I appreciate your vote of confidence. Saving me back for 4 more years. More importantly, I appreciate you all showing up in force, engaging, speaking your mind. Hopefully we do it in a much more orderly fashion moving forward, but once again, love seeing bodies in the room and people speaking their mind. Roger, I have to agree with Roberta's comments. She put it so tactfully. And also Jim and Augie, pleasure working with you. Know your heart was in it for this township and just learned so much from you. Thank you so much. That's all from me.
Thank you, Ryan.
Just thank everybody that voted for me. Looking forward to the next 4 years. Looking forward to working with Chad and Pat and the rest of the board members. Can't wait till next month so we can get going.
I want to thank Jill for getting the information out as we talk back and forth and text, whatever. She's done a good job with that. I'm not saying goodbye to you guys because you're not going anywhere. So we get to be as election workers for the next election. But I want to commend the 4 township employees that we had working election for us. It was a great thing. I wish we'd done it a long time ago. They were really good people. Did a great job.
Okay. Yeah, obviously tonight's my last official duty as a supervisor for a board meeting. It's been a long time. It's been a total of 17 years. I started out as a trustee for a short period of time, then I became treasurer for a couple of years, and then I got moved into the supervisor position. I can tell you the easiest seat to sit in. It's been quite a ride. And I'm not going to stop coming to meetings. I'm going to come to every meeting, and I'm going to sit right next to Roger.
Chief, can you tell?
Not. Roger's been a pleasure. I mean, he just, warms me up every time I see him. Anyway, all right. Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure sometimes. One thing I can say to Chad, being the supervisor, gotta have a thick skin sometime, buddy. Trust me. But you've been through meetings, you know. Yeah. Sometimes I look at him and go, oh my God. Okay, motion to adjourn, be in order.
So moved. Support.